Assalamualaikum and hello everyone, especially to our lecturer Dr. Badaria binti Abdul Rahman. Today, me, Dazrana binti Omar, and my partner Jiral Ahayu will discuss about the direct participation and indirect participation in public and private sector.
Introduction. One way of exploring the practices and ideals of EP is by distinguishing between direct and indirect participation, that is, between participation of employees either directly or indirectly through their representative, by Paul 2011. There are two reasons why we need to know the nature of direct or indirect forms of participation. First, we need to understand what factors affect how these forms are implemented. Second, how these forms are actually operating at the company and workplace level by Knudsen 1995 and Wilpert 1998. The first question relates to the factors relating to why organizations are keen to implement direct and indirect EP in the company and workplace. The second question aspect is the extent to which employees and unions have the capacity to influence management decisions within the direct and indirect forms of EP.
Next, I will present about employee participation in public sector. Employee participation in public sector divided by two, which are direct participation and indirect participation. Direct participation in public sector. The definition may be as broad and all-inclusive as any form of delegation to or consultation with employees, or as narrow as a formal, ongoing structure of direct communication, such as through team briefing. According to Cabrera, Ortega and Cabrera 2003, direct participation involves the employee themselves. Examples of direct participation include QCC, TQM, ISO, 5As, and group briefings. The example of direct participation in public sector, firstly, is Quality Control Circle, QCC. QCC is a tool which gives a number of benefits like organizational performance improvement, product quality improvement, and improvement in the relationship within the organization which motivate workers and improve teamwork among them. The importance of QCC to motivate the employees, encourage for teamwork, and to enhance the quality and productivity. Next, Total Quality Management, TQM. TQM is an approach and a continuous improvement in all operations in the organization in producing and delivering high-quality products and services to satisfy the changing customers' needs. The importance of TQM to improve the relationship between customer satisfaction and the existing resources. Next, indirect participation in public sector. Indirect participation, in the other hand, affects mass of employees where work council or CB represent their role and discuss the issue with the management. Next, I will present about example of indirect participation in public sector, which is Joint Consultative Committee, JCC. Based on previous studies, we have found that public sector in Malaysia is as a result from the colonial days of the British administration, known as a Whiteley Committee. The purpose of Whiteley Committee to allow workers to address their issue and concern regarding their welfare. After that, change it to Majlis Bersama Kebangsaan and Majlis Bersama Jabatan. According to the current needs, the government only provides a little room for JCC to actively participating in organization decision-making process.
Employee participation in private sector. Direct participation in private sector. Direct employee participation primarily involves the direct passage of information from manager to their staff, including communication between the two parties or some kind of upward flow of responses or ideas. Mohet 1997. It engaged the employees in job or task-oriented consultation or decision-making in the production process at the shop or office level, Markey 2001. The type of mechanisms which can be included within direct employee participation are team briefings, house journals, suggestion schemes, quality circles, QCS, total quality management, TQM, and ISO 9000 by Marchington 1995 and 2001. The basic point about this form of participation is that employees participate directly rather than through their representative. Delbridge, Whitefield 2001, Binghe 2002. Marchington 1995 categorizes direct participation forms by the nature and the direction of the process. Number 1, downward communication. Number 2, upward problem solving. Number 3, self-directed work teams. Example of direct participation in private sector. Number 1, forms of downward communication. First, team briefings involve a small number of employees meeting with the line managers on a regular basis by Marchington 2001. Second, formal meetings are another form of direct face-to-face communication between managers and employees by Mohet 1997. Number 2, forms of upward problem solving. First, quality circles QCS comprise small groups of employees who work together to identify, analyze, and solve quality and work-related problems by Marchington 1992. Second, total quality management TQM defined as a multifaceted management technique for enhancing productivity through improving product quality and reorganizing the production process. Rothschild and Olilenen 1999. Number 3, self-directed work teams, which mean the team involve all of the employees in a specific area or those working on a specific product or process by Cotton 1993. In general, direct participation established by employers in the workplace is seen to improve organizational efficiency, employers' commitment to the company goals, and communication between management and employers, as well as increase employers' job satisfaction by Marchington 1992, Mohet 1997, Cooley 1999. Indirect participation in private sector. Indirect participation refers to policies, programs, practices, and procedures where employees participate in the process of management decision-making, not directly rather than their representative. Participative bodies may discuss the strategic, tactical, operational, and welfare issues such as safety, health, production, social activities, and the company's investment plans by Knudsen 1995. Example of indirect participation in private sector. Number 1, Joint Consultation Committee JCC. First, JCC are one of the forms of indirect participation where committee members are the workers and management representatives who work jointly together by Clegg 1960. Second, JCC are actually a mechanism where employee representative and management might discuss many issues which have an impact on both parties, employees and management. However, JCC are also limited in terms of the capacity of workers' representative to influence decisions in the JCC meeting due to managerial prerogative in taking the final decisions. By Strauss, 1998. Number 2. Collective bargaining. International Labour Organization (ILO) defines CB as all negotiation between employers and workers organizations for the purpose of determining terms, conditions of employment, and regulating relations between them. The objective of CB is to decide on agreed terms and conditions of employment and the ways in which employment issues, such as individual grievances, collective disputes, and disciplinary matters, are to be resolved at the workplace, company, and national level. Case Study Analysis 1 in Public Sector. According to the article of Muhammad Said Noraini and Muhammad Yusuf, 2018, Types of Employee Participation in Decision-Making (PDM) amongst the middle management in the Malaysian public sector. The study revealed that the type of participation that significantly related to the middle management employees in the Malaysian public sector is consultative participation than delegative participation. Although employees are frequently involved in the current operation, management discussion, meetings, and group discussion. However, the important decisions are still made by the top management, and the majority of the employees at the middle management only act as feeder of information by contributing ideas, opinion, and suggestions to help and assist the leaders in making decisions. This further revealed that few number of employees experience less empower in PDM at the workplace. This situation is probably related to the hierarchical and bureaucracy systems in the ministry. The job scope and limited roles of middle management also related to the low level of delegative participation due to the primary functions of the middle management, which is more significant to receiving orders from the top management and implementing organizational plan based on ministry policies and goals, identifying problems and making short-term decisions relating day-to-day organizational operation and function within their job scope, and makes research, give input, information, and ideas to the top management rather than having a full power to make decisions relating the task and job. Case Study Analysis 2 in Private Sector. According to the research of Parasuraman 2007, an examination of employee participation in the private sector, Malaysian case studies. Based on its research, which focused on Stelco, Autoco, and Posco, the research has indicated that employee participation in Malaysia is limited, particularly with reference to employee voice. Constraints on unions and non-managerial employees mean there is little participation in final management decision-making process. The results of its research are valuable for policymakers such as Ministry of Human Resources to consider how to revise objectives and include some elements of employee participation in the current labor legislation. Similarly, employers might also change their attitudes toward union and employees to provide them an opportunity to participate and have a say in the final management decisions. Besides, the unions and employees also need to contribute ideas and views in order to improve productivity, quality of product and services. It is important that unions and employee groups genuinely seek to promote employees' quality of life and well-being. Employee participation is beneficial, especially when the stakeholders can see the benefits and are empowered by the other stakeholders. Conclusion. Based on discussion above, it can be concluded EP in public sector is quite weak rather than in private sector. EP in Malaysia is limited, particularly with reference to employee voice. EP also may reduce workloads of supervisors, encourage skill development in the workforce, and can contribute to improve employment relations in general. For that matter, the issue of EP in decision-making has attracted the interest among management, scholars, industrial relations researchers, and managers in organizations as well, especially in promoting partnership between employer-employee work relationship. EP has been practiced in the private sector. However, there is a broad gap on the importance of EP in the public sector.